Hello, Coach Jeff here. So I'm making this video for you guys and gals. It's a programming template that you can use while training at Longevity or training with me, and then also supplementing with at-home training or even at another gym, like In Shape or something like that. So it's going to be a series of videos that I link into a Google Doc so that you can have the Google Doc, you can see the program layout, and then click on a link to go to the video. So I'm starting with the warm-up and movement prep, number one. This is stuff you're all familiar with, but I'm just going to go over it, refresh your memory, get you back in the swing of things if you haven't been doing some of this stuff at home. Okay, so the first step in the warm-up is box breathing. And the box is just a timer, basically. And you're going to do it for about 2 minutes. And what you want to do is, I'm going to take you with me. I'm going to show you what to do on the floor. So I'm going to move around a little bit, but as you can see, I'm on my back. My legs are up. Okay. And then I'm just going to place my hands on the rib cage and the abdomen. And there's a couple things I want you to notice when you're breathing. One is you're breathing into your hands, your thumb at the rib cage, your pinkies, the lower abdominals. You should feel your breath expand into your hands. Okay? Let me get down a little bit. And then the second thing I want you to feel is that when you inhale, you can feel your rib cage press into in my case, the floor or a mat. So those two things are pretty important. And the box part of it is, I'm going to take you back up, is that I want you to, so you're here, you're laying on the ground, you're breathing, you're going to inhale for 2 seconds. And you start with a 2-second box, especially if you haven't been doing it for a while. You're just going to inhale for 2, hold for 2, exhale for 2, hold for 2 again, and then repeat your box. So you do that for two minutes. And if you know how to do self-checks, so like your shoulder mobility self-check, hip internal range of motion self-check, or hip stability self-checks, then you should do those before you start breathing and after to see the improvement that the breath work has done. Okay, after you finish breathing, we're going to go into self-myofascial release, foam rolling, lacrosse ball work, stick work, theragun, flossing with rock tape, using a stick, all those types of tools that we have available. Even cupping, you can floss with a cup. And I know I've showed a lot of you how to do that. Anyway, you want to do about 30 seconds to 1 minute per body part, and you're going to just do the standards like we do all the time when we're rolling in a group or whatever. We want 30 seconds to a minute. You're going to do calves, hamstrings, glutes, back. If you have low back condition, roll your back standing up, use a ball against the wall. Even if you don't have, I would suggest doing that anyway. Then, so rolling your back, you can roll your upper back with the foam roller. Okay, so those are your basics. And then if you have pre-existing conditions that we've worked on, then you need to, do your personal rolling techniques to help you with that pre-existing condition. After you get done with the rolling, theragun, whatever soft tissue work you're going to do, then you're going to get into priority correctives. Now, most of you are familiar with the FMS screen, so you should know what those FMS correctives are. And if you need help with that, then we better talk about that next time I see you. Okay. And then we go into a general movement prep. So I'm going to demonstrate all these exercises as general movement prep. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the floor and you're going to be able to see all that. Okay. Okay, so first you're going to start with a pulsing bridge, and that's going to look like this. Feet are hip width, arms out the side, you're going to lift up and then back down. Just touch the floor and then come back up. So that's your pulsing bridge, dynamic bridge, whatever you want to call it. Next is your upper rotation. So I'm laying here. You might put a pillow here, but I'm just going to hold my head up. I'm going to inhale, rotate. I want my knees in contact with another on the floor. And then as I rotate, they're going to stay in place. I don't want them to roll up like that. Okay, so just keep them there. Eyes follow the hand. And then exhale. Inhale. And then exhale. So that's upper rotations. And next will be the downward dog and plank combo. So it'll look like this. I'm going to get into my plank. And then up into my downward dog, pressing my hips up. Pressing my hips up and back, I should say, and then heels towards the floor. And then back to your starting position. Don't drop your hips too far and extend your spine. Okay, don't extend your spine. So that's the next exercise. And then the Spiderman plank. Stretch out. Other side. Give you this view here. Notice my shins vertical, feet are flat. Okay, so that's your Spiderman plank. You've already done the upper rotation, so you don't have to add the rotations with the Spiderman plank. Okay, so that's your general movement prep. Awesome, I'll get my tripods out. I can't find them from the move yet, so just bear with me. You're gonna do this for one round. You're gonna do 45 seconds each exercise or per side, and then 15 seconds of transition time. So when you do all this work, it should be about 17 minutes of total time for a warm-up, maybe 20, if maximum 20, if you're doing some extra stuff for like a sore shoulder or a sore lumbar spine or whatever, you know. Okay, so that's the movement prep template number 1.